this is Paul. Welcome to my first official unboxing video. I've been wanting to try this for a while, and so hopefully this is the beginning of a regular thing where we do unboxing videos from time to time and music features and various things. But this is the first, and boy, what an album to start with. The original Queen album. Let me start by saying that I am not unbiased. Queen is by far my favorite group, always has been. Anyway, this year, Brian May and Roger Taylor, the guitarist and drummer of Queen, took on the project to go back and revisit the first album. And in doing so, they created a wondrous alternate take. This is not meant to replace the original album. Everybody knows it's a sacred album, there's no question. But they went back and sort of did what they had always heard in their heads. Like if they had had the technology, if they had had the time and the supported, as a beginning band, they would have done so much more and it might have sounded even better. So they went back and they did that, and here it is. First, they have packaged this thing so beautifully. Let us go ahead and take off the wrap. And first, I'm going to give you a piece of advice, which is when opening boxes like this, or records really also, instead of using a knife or instead of using your fingernails, grab one of these, a little guitar pick, a plectrum, and watch it like it's dull enough but still sharp, push down in there and just carefully slit along the side. And once you get that opening, then you can delicately tear off the plastic. And it's a much safer thing to do, and it works. So now let us look at this outer box. It is beautiful. It is textured. It has this great sort of linen paper texture. And then of course they have the Queen logo embossed in gold. And you will notice, anybody who is a Queen fan will notice that they have tacked on a 1 to the end of that. And I think it makes sense. Given that this, you have to look at this as the alternate world version. This world is the world where they know that they have made many more albums. So when you have a Queen 2 after this, might as well have Queen 1. So I don't mind that they put that on there. I think it's pretty cool, actually. All right, on to the unveiling of what is in this amazing box. Lifting off the lid, the first thing you see is the album. They have put a new vinyl album out of this. And as you'll see, again, the Queen logo is there, gold embossed, again with the 1. The photo on the front, I hear, has been remastered. They didn't have the original graphic anymore of this. It disappeared somehow. So they digitally recreated it as best they could. And they did a great job. It looks just like it. I will point out that the original album, the Queen logo was in pink. And so they have changed this to gold. Again, I think that's perfectly fine. It looks beautiful. On the back, it looks the same, except that they removed credits that were at the bottom underneath the song listing, and they've replaced it with the Queen crest. And again, that's cool because, as we'll find, all the information is elsewhere in this box. Pulling out the inner parts of this album, you will see that the inner sleeve is here, but the record's not in it. This is purely for collectors, so it's there. You could put a record in there, but no need. But it has lyrics, and that's really cool. And at this point, I will point out that at one time, they had another song called Mad the Swine that they were intending to be in this album, but they took it off at the last minute, so the album never had that song. It has now been replaced as intended originally, as the 4th song after Great King Rat. And it's an amazing song. I always wondered why it was ever removed. And here you find in a protective sleeve the actual vinyl album. And boy, it's beautiful. It's 180 gram. The original label has been replaced with a thematic version with the same graphic as the cover. Very nice. And they go to great efforts to say 2024 mix because we don't want to get them confused, and nobody wants to think that this is replacing the original. It is very much its own beast. So let's put those back and move on. Underneath the album, you find this next cardboard album, which holds the CDs. And there are 6. An amazing collection. If you ever wanted a time capsule of the first album, this is it. You have the CD of the 2024 mix, very nice. Then you have the Delane Lee demos 2024 mix. And Delane Lee when they were first starting, they had an opportunity to record some of their songs before they ever had a record deal or anything. It was free, but they had to record late at night when other artists had gone home. So they were recording through the night. And they were college students at the time, so that must have been crazy. But you have this, and these have been remastered as well and remixed, which is really exciting because we've wanted to hear these sounding better than they have. And here it is. Then you have the Queen sessions, so you have outtakes of these songs, and also a lot of conversation bits between Freddie and Brian and Roger and John. So that's priceless. And then you have a backing tracks CD, which is basically the instrumental version of the album. Very fun if you want to sing along and try to sing like Freddie. Don't do it. Then you have Queen at this album recorded at the BBC, and a lot of bands used to do that in Britain. They would go to the BBC and take some backing tracks, and they would do original mixes of their songs, original sort of recordings of those songs, and then they get played on the air. It's good PR, good press for them. Finally, you have an album completely of this first album live, and most of it's taken from the Rainbow concert in 1974. And then at the end, you actually have a few more songs. You have the legendary Hangman song, which has only now seen the light of day, but they used to play that at a lot of their early concerts, and that's from 1976. And also 2 super early live recordings from 1970. Their song Jesus, which made it onto the first album, and then another song called I'm a Man, again seeing the light of day, and 1970. Those 2 songs are the probably earliest ever live recordings of Queen, and you have them here. The only recordings before that are the Smile sessions when they were Smile and Freddie wasn't a part of it yet. So anyway, here they are, and I just want to mention also how nice it is that all of these are released in their own little sleeves. Within the pockets, they all have their own little sleeve. And so like if you want to take these out and just have them on your shelf, that's very cool, easy access, and they look really cool too. I like the color scheme. I like how they packaged this whole thing. Very nice. Next, you have 4 beautiful glossy photos of the band. Really, really nice. And if you're a super fan and want to do so, you can frame these and put them on your wall, and then you'll consider Queen your family. But they are super nice, so really nice touch. Under that, you have a poster, and it's basically the back of the Queen album, but enlarged, and it's so hyper detailed, like it's a collage of all the band doing things. So it's really nice to like finally have this big, like you can really see details, and really fun, man. They had so much fun back in the day. They're so bohemian. After that, you have this whole thing is a treasure, but if you got nothing else, the fact that there is this huge book in the back, it goes through their history like crazy. Like I've collected Queen for years and years and years. I have lots of books. most of these photos and snippets of their history I've never seen before. There are cutouts of Roger Taylor's diary at the time where he comments on how things are going, Brian May's diary and comments. Some contractual papers are printed here, lots of photos and lots of like flyers and concert stuff. Almost every single thing that were important to Queen as they were starting. Hand-drawn flyers, like drawn by the drummer or drawn by Freddie or whatever. There's a great photo of Freddie's rough sketch of the Queen crest. And I had never seen that before. It's probably out there somewhere, but this thing it's huge. It takes up a whole page and it's just beautiful. And it just goes on and on and on. And it's just like it's really a luxurious book. Again, the same sort of linen texture as the box itself, the same gold embossed crest. And this book is just gorgeous. And I think it'll only ever be available in this box. So it's a real collectible. So there you have it. You have like the ultimate history of this album. And I'm just gonna mention really fast. There's been ongoing controversy about Freddie's voice having been slightly auto-tuned. Now, I have listened to it and I really can't tell, but when I first heard it, I was like, I don't think I want to support this. I don't know that I want to spend all this money to get this if they're, touching the sacred voice. But then it's sort of like, it occurred to me, like especially if you listen to the Delane Lee recordings where they were just starting, but then, there are moments in Queen as well where Freddie's voice, it wavers a little or whatever. And, it's sweet. I love it. I think that's just a part of his personality at that time. But, it sort of occurred to me, like if he were alive now, I don't think he would mind like touching up those little moments that, if they bothered Brian and Roger, they probably would have bothered Freddie as well. And considering, again, you've got to be in the mindset that this is the alternate reality version. It's not meant to replace the original album. You can still get it. You can go out and find an old one anywhere, used record stores, but you might want to get this, which is a great remaster. And it's true completely to the original album. And so no messing with his voice. So it's like we have it. But if you enter into this world of the 2024 remaster remix of Queen's first album, I say just roll with it, go with it. As Queen would have said themselves, why not do anything to reach the people, to do something grander or better? And this is it. They have blown my mind with this. And I'll just get into saying the sound is incredible, absolutely incredible. It is gorgeous, and I am thrilled that they did it, that they had the audacity to go back and in any way mess with one of their sacred beginning things. I mean, Brian May is a historian of Queen. Like, he is the historian, and he's very touchy about stuff. But they're so daring, and they always have been. And that's one of the things I love and have always loved about Queen. So anyway, thank you for spending some time with me and sharing this great unboxing. Wow, so exciting. All right. Take care, everyone.